Now we are moving to the next topic, that is protozoan diseases. Just like we have discussed in the previous classes about the bacterial as well as fungal infections, now we are moving to the diseases which is mainly caused by the protozoans. Protozoan diseases in man generally includes the following. They includes malaria, amoebic dysentery, leishmaniasis, trypanosomiasis, microsporidiasis, and giardiasis. So let's move to the detail of each one. Malaria. We know that malaria is a disease which is generally caused by the protozoan that is called Plasmodium. Generally, 4 different species of Plasmodium are generally concerned with causing this disease, malaria. And the life cycle of this particular organism, as it is completed both in man as well as Anopheles mosquito, it is having a serious effect on man. The symptom generally appears just after 48 hours after the infection by the concerned mosquito, that is Anopheles mosquitoes. Symptoms include fever, chills, anemia, etc. And we can control this malaria by means of the application of certain drugs like chloramquinone, primaquinone, etc. Then amoebic dysentery. This is caused by, as we all know that, it is caused by the protozoan Entamoeba histolytica. It becomes chronic due to the parasite's ability to form cyst which is persistent and dormant for even though for a longer period of time inside the human body. The main symptoms of this particular disease is that abdominal pain, presence of mucus and blood in fecus. Mainly this disease is transmitted via contaminated water and occasionally by means of food. Then comes leishmaniasis. Leishmaniasis is another disease which is caused by the protozoan parasite that is called Leishmania parasite, and this particular parasite is getting spread by another insect that is called sandflies, phlebotomus, and the sandflies when it is infected it is able to infect the humans. It lives and multiplies inside the female sandfly. Domestic animals such as dogs can serve as they can also serve as a reservoir for this particular parasites. And this transmission may occur from animal to sandfly and then comes to the human beings. And then what about the symptoms of the diseases? The symptoms of this particular disease can be classified into 3 different types. They are cutaneous leishmaniasis, mucocutaneous leishmaniasis, and visceral leishmaniasis. What is meant by cutaneous leishmaniasis? Cutaneous means skin. It generally causes painless skin ulcers. And this particular disease generally occurs just weeks after bitten by the infected sandflies. After a week, this particular disease will comes to appear. Then mucocutaneous leishmaniasis. These are primarily ulcers, generally caused by ulcers in mouth and nose and also lips. Runny or stuffy nose, then here the nose undergoes bleeding, and it also in turn causes the difficulty in breathing also. Then visceral leishmaniasis. This will occur just after 2 to 6 months. That means a particular period of time is necessary for the appearance of this particular leishmaniasis, that is visceral. Visceral means it affects most of the visceral parts, that means internal parts. Common signs and symptoms includes weight loss, weakness, fever, and enlarged spleen. Then comes microsporidiasis. This is another protozoan disease which is caused by the microorganism Microsporidiae. These spores are able to cause microsporidiasis, a disease which is this particular disease is primarily seen in those individuals which is infected with HIV. Means those individuals who have AIDS are having the spores of this particular organisms. And microsporidiosis can able to cause infections of the intestine, lung, kidney, brain, sinuses, muscles as well as eyes. How it is getting transmitted? This is mainly transmitted released from the stool of the affected person or the respiratory secretions and urine. And a number of animals including insects, birds and mammals can serve as the reservoir of this infection of this microsporidia. Transmission of this spores is thought to generally occurs primarily by means of injection or inhalation by humans. By means of inhalation or by means of that means breathing, or by means of ingestion, by means of any kind of inducing like blood transfusion, etc. By means of injections, these particular spores are able to enters into human by means of the from the affected persons. Then comes giardiasis. Giardiasis is another protozoan disease, and this is caused by infections generally seen in the small intestine. This is caused by the microscopic parasite called Giardia lamblia, and it generally spreads through the contact with the infected people. And you can get this particular disease by eating contaminated food or drinking contaminated water. Pets, dogs, and also are generally concerned with contracting this giardia. So this is nothing but this is the infection which is generally found on the intestine caused by this particular bacteria. Sorry, protozoan. And this particular the causative organism is generally found in animal as well as the human fecuses or waste material, and these parasites also thrive in the contaminated food, water and soil, and can survive outside the host for a longer period of time. And suddenly, whenever this particular causative organism is able to enters into the host body by means of their conception, it leads to the effect of this particular disease. The main symptoms of this disease includes fatigue, nausea, diarrhea, loss of appetite, vomiting, abdominal cramps, weight loss, excessive gas, headaches, as well as abdominal pain. So that's all about the diseases which is caused by protozoans.